Today we are going to learn SharePoint development, and in the earlier sessions we were discussed about a SharePoint administration and SharePoint central administration and related to workflows and all. But from today we start developing the things from a Visual Studio, and also we'll know what are the ways we have to develop the solutions to the SharePoint. So first we'll discuss how the SharePoint architecture is, and then we'll discuss how it will work in the system. Imagine, see, this is a SharePoint application system. Okay, and then on the second I'm drawing, it's a SharePoint database. Okay, here I'm writing a app server, and here I'm writing this is the DB server. So coming to SharePoint application, we already learned and what we can create inside our SharePoint environment. Like we can create a list, and we can create a library, and also we can create a pages, and also we can insert some kind of web parts inside the SharePoint environment. Now see, these all things, what happens when you try to create a list in your application server here in the SharePoint environment. When you click add an app and you create a list, where the list will save in database. Whereas coming to when you install your SharePoint, and it's a general application from .NET. It's SharePoint is developed on base of ASP.NET. So which means when you are installing your SharePoint, what happens? It is installing in your local machine, right? So when you go to your program files, common files, Microsoft shared web server extensions, and you can see the 14 hive and 15 hive that we are discussed. 14 hive for SharePoint 2010, and 15 hive is for SharePoint 2013. So you installed all your SharePoint application, all the files which is related to SharePoint, which saves in 15 hive. So all of those are the solutions developed by Microsoft, and there you will see some ASPX pages and ASX controls, and also you can see some DLLs inside that. So now what you are creating inside your application, the things are that data and data related information saving in DB. So what you created earlier using this SharePoint environment, we created list, and also we created library, and we created pages. Okay, and also we have workflows, and also we have out of box web parts, and we also have out of box timer jobs, and of course we have the pages, and we'll discuss about the pages. And these are the main things we seen inside our out of box. So coming to list, which is already defined, when you are trying to create a new list, and you can see some kind of list like a custom list, announcement list, task list, and so on. So different kinds of list templates you have, from where these list templates are coming from. Development, the Microsoft developed a specific application, and they hosted inside our SharePoint environment. So that's why you can able to see that custom list or a task list or announcement list. If you want to develop the things, like if you want to develop a list using Visual Studio, and we can call it as list definition. Okay, that we'll see inside that. Even if you want to develop a library also, this also comes under list definition. Okay, and you have the pages. Okay, and this is list definition, and again it's list definition. Okay, these are the pages which is called as a site pages when you create inside your SharePoint, and you can see the edit option. And coming to here at the pages we creating using Visual Studio, those kind of pages we can call it as a application pages. Anyhow, we'll discuss these application pages deeply once we start the development of application pages. Okay, and these application pages will save in your app server where your app is hosted, and there these application pages will reside, and these pages will not reside in your DB. But if you create these site pages, the site pages will save in database server. Now, okay, coming back to workflows, and we know that workflows, we have out of box workflows, and also we have a SharePoint designer to design the workflows, and also we have some third-party tools. Okay, anyhow, we'll discuss third-party tools in upcoming sessions. Okay, and workflows also we can develop using Visual Studio. That type of workflows we can call it as a custom workflows. And coming to web parts is a ASP.NET user control basically. But inside our SharePoint environment, when you develop a web part, you deploy it into your environment, and this is reusable type of definition, and you can easily insert in any page. Okay, if you create a site pages, you want to insert your web part, yes, you can insert it. And here we have a two types of web parts. One is visual web parts, another one is custom web parts. Okay, visual web parts will have a user interface to design, and custom web parts we need to write custom code to design the web parts. Okay, timer jobs also we have in a Visual Studio, and we'll discuss these timer jobs when we are start developing the timer jobs. And timer jobs will run in a periodical fashion, which means it may run every 2 hours or 4 hours or every day or weekly or monthly basis. And we have a master page concept also in SharePoint. Yes, we can develop the master page using Visual Studio. And one more concept we have called event receivers. This event receivers same as event handlers, but event handler will fire when you hit a button or when you change the text on the particular drop down box or a text box. But event receiver will fire before that action takes place or after an action takes place. And these are two types of event receivers we have: synchronous event receivers and asynchronous event receivers. And this one also we'll discuss deeply when we start developing the event receivers. Okay, these are the major concepts inside our SharePoint development. Okay, and we'll cover one by one later. First, we'll discuss how this SharePoint development will works, and how we can send it to the SharePoint environment when we create these things in Visual Studio. And to run the Visual Studio, first we need to open this Visual Studio as an administrator. I'm going to search the Visual Studio and type Visual Studio, right click on it and click run as an administrator. Now Visual Studio is opened. I'm going to file section, click new, click on project. See, here we have Visual Basic and Visual C Sharp, and most of the people will work with the Visual C Sharp only. Nowadays, maximum 90-95% of people using Visual C Sharp for the development. And inside this Visual C Sharp, and we have an option called Office or SharePoint. Click on it, select SharePoint Solutions, and click SharePoint Empty Project. Okay, and we have other options also, but we'll start with SharePoint Empty Project and give a name as Development Demo. Then click OK. Now, and which site you want to work with, and you need to select the site name and just go to your site, and this is your site. Just copy the URL, of course the same URL we have here, and still you want to work with a new site collection, and you can copy and paste your site collection and click validate. So if your site is not hosted in the same server, you'll get an error. If your site is hosted in the same server, and you will not get any error, and see the message connection successfully connected to the SharePoint site, so and so. Click OK. Now we have two options here to deploy our solution. The first option is deploy as sandbox solution, and the next one is deploy as farm solution. Now the sandbox solutions introduced in SharePoint 2010 version, and they deprecated in SharePoint 2013, but still this is available in SharePoint 2013 as well. But this is Microsoft strongly suggesting that they are not going to support for the sandbox solutions in the future. Okay, we'll discuss later on why they are not going to support in the future and why they introduced sandbox solutions. And the next one is deploy as a form solution. If you want to deploy your solution to entire form, and you can use this one. And sandbox solutions, if you want to deploy your solution for a particular site collection, and then you can go with the sandbox solutions, but this is not a recommended one. So that's why I'm going deploying as a form solution. Click finish. Okay, now SharePoint empty project is created. Okay, once you create a SharePoint empty project, and there is a properties option, and there is a references option, and the package option and future option here, future folder is created. Now coming to references, I think most of the people know about these references and which DLLs you are referring to use in your solution. So people will add the references here. But when we work with the SharePoint, and I created a SharePoint empty project, and that automatically added a Microsoft.SharePoint DLL and Microsoft.SharePoint.Client.Server runtime. And these are the common DLLs which automatically adds when you create a .NET empty project. Okay, done. So in the here we discussed about the first one is the list definition. Now we'll go back to our site. So if you want to create a list, and you have to go to add an app option. In the add an app, we have an option called custom list, task list. These are the templates, and how these templates come, and Microsoft developed and they deployed into your SharePoint environment. So like that, I want to create a new template in my SharePoint site, and I want to deploy into SharePoint. So then when you try to search that here in the app, and you can see, and you can create the same kind of list using your app. So I'm coming back to Visual Studio. Now I'm trying to add a new list template from here. Click add, click new item, and here I have a list template option here. So I'm giving a name as online demo. Click add. Okay, now I given a name as online demo, and the next one, create a customizable list template and an instance of it. Okay, what is instance? Now I have a custom list template. When I try to create a new list, I can create a new list here like test. Now when I click create, the list will create here. This is instance of the custom list. It's an instance of the custom list. And what is the template? And when I go back to add an app, I can see the same custom list. See, this is a template, and when I created a new list using that template, that is called instance. Okay, and this test is an instance. Now I'm coming back. If you don't want to create a instance, then you can create, sorry, you just want to create an instance, and then you can click this one and you can use the existing template. And here we are creating a new template, and we are creating a instance of it. So what type of instance you want to create, a custom instance or announcement instance? Basically I want to go with a custom instance, then click finish. Okay, now it's created. So when I add my list template here, it's added my list template, and also it's added list demo instance, and this element.xml for this list instance, and this element.xml for this template, and schema.xml for instant as well as the template. Okay, and now we'll discuss about the future. So in SharePoint environment, we have 4 scopes of features. So one is a web level features, another one is a site collection level features, another one is web application level features, and finally we have farm level features also. So when you activate that one, the functionality which is developed using that feature will activate. So which means when you activate this feature, and this list demo, online demo will be available in your site. If you deactivate this feature, and this instance, sorry, this template will not available to your site. So that is advantage of future, and anyhow features will discuss deeply in the upcoming sessions. But the list always, the scope, the list scope always would be web only, which means you can create a list inside your site, not inside your site collection. But when you have a site collection, so you created a list under it, which means the site collection itself a single web. So that's why you are able to create. So that list is available to your particular web only, that will not available to your entire site collection. Okay, so anyhow we'll discuss later what how we can do the cross site publishing. That is a different concept. Now I added a list and I'm not doing anything on this list. Now first I'm going to this list. See, here we have three options. One is columns, views, list. Now coming to the columns, we'll create a new column here. I'm creating a column as my name. Okay, it would be single line of text and it's a mandatory field. And I'm coming back here and I'm giving my ID. Okay, it would be number column. I'm just giving a number column. And finally, I'm giving my address. Address will be multi lines of text, and I'm making my ID also mandatory. I created three new columns here, and there is next option would be views. And when you create any kind of list, and there is a default view will automatically create the view is all items. And if you want to create a new view, and you can come down and just create my view, and row limit would be 50. Okay, so in my view, what I'm expecting is I'm expecting to be add who created it. So created by, and I want to add ID, and I want to add my address, my ID, my name, and finally title. Okay, so I created a view, that is my view, with a 50 row limit, and I added columns inside my view. I'm going back to list, and initially we give an online demo, and you want to change the title of this one, yes you can change. And you want to change this URL, yes you can change, but it's not mandatory and it's not recommended also. And here you can give my list instance, yes it's my list instance. Okay, so if you want to display inside your quick launch, we know that quick launch is this, and you don't want to display this list in the browser, you can hide that list from the browser itself. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, I created in the user interface columns, views, list, and when I do this one, what happens behind the code? Okay, that we'll see. I'm saving this one and go back to your list instance, and in the list instance we have element.xml. Okay, click yes. So in the element.xml, for a list instance, and there is a title called online demo, and it is displaying the quick launch, so that's why I'm making as a true. And then list template, it's a custom list template, so that's why it's 10,000. The URL we see in this URL inside our UI, and if you want to change the name from URL, you can change it. And this is a description, that's what I written, yes it's my list instance. So this is about the list instance. And coming to the template, and I created a template. When I use this template, what type of columns will sorry, what type of information it have? I'm going back to element.xml for the template. Now see the tag, it's a list template, and the name is online demo, and type is, it's a custom type, and base type is 0, quick launch is true, and security bits and sequence is common for the list instance, sorry, list template, and the display name is online demo, and then description is my list definition. Why it's still my list definition? It is for template, it's not for the instance, because we changed it in the instance. And coming to the image, and this image is a system image, and we'll see where it is located under 15 hive and layouts images folder. So I'm going to my local path, C, program files and common files and Microsoft shared web server extensions and 15 have, and we have templates, we have images. Okay, and what image it's referring to? itgen.png. I'm searching that itgen png, and this is a one, and this one I am trying to open inside my paint. You can see this is a list symbol. When I coming back to my SharePoint, see this is a custom list and the symbol is itgen. This is also microfeed list and this is a test list, and this is the symbol which is taken from our 15 hive. So again I am coming back. Now we done with element.xml. Finally the schema.xml. The schema.xml will contains all the information related to list. When you create a list and what type of content type it is taking, okay, these are the content types, and what are the views it is taking. We have total two views and we'll discuss about that views. One view is all items view, another one view is my view. Okay, so now we can see the name later. First we'll complete the content type. In the content type we have the fields. Title is automatically created by system, and the next one I created my name. This is my name, and again I created another one is called my id. This is my id, and also I created another one that is my address, and these are the columns in the content type, and these are the fields in the list. Okay, now when you see, you can see the title here, and after title you can see my name. This is for list, and earlier we saw for the content type, and next one is my id, and the final my name, my id, final is my address. So this is my address. So we have total, we created columns, and everything is coming inside our schema.xml. And coming to views, the first view name is all items.aspx. Sorry, we missed out somewhere. Come down. So instead of doing like this, we can easily search all items. See, this is a URL all items.aspx, and this is all items view, and we created another view that is called my view. So this is my view which we created. Okay, and finally after these two views we see total three forms. When you have a list, and this is a common test list, and when you want to create a new item you can see new form.aspx, and when you have a existing items, maybe I'm going to hospital and there is an existing item. When you open that you can see dispform.aspx. When you try to edit that item you can see edit form.aspx, and these three forms are common for the list. So that's why here three forms, one is disperform, edit form and new form. Three forms also generated from the code. Okay, this is about schema.xml, and this code we no need to write anything because we have the user interface to create this all. When you create this all in the user interface, the code will generate beyond the scenes. Now it's created. Now I'm not doing anything here, I'm trying to deploy this one. So when you want to push this application into SharePoint environment, and you need to click deploy on this window. So now the solution is deploying to our SharePoint environment, and if we have any permission related issues, and we will get an error message here. And also if you have any errors in the code, also you'll get an error message here, and then we can easily resolve that from the Visual Studio. Now it's deploying, and so these are the pre-deployment steps, and first this solution need to be added to your SharePoint environment, and then only it will start deploying. And before this one also, if you are earlier deployed any solution, and first the system will check the same solution available in the system or not, and if yes, and it will deactivate the features, then it will retract the solution, and finally it will delete the solution. Then it starts adding the solution to the environment, and then it will deploy again. Okay, okay, deploy successful. I'm coming back to my site. This is my site. When I go to site contents, I'm expecting a new list will be created using this code. Okay, so this is a site. No, this is a subsite. I'm coming back to site. Sorry. Go to add an app. When I try searching online, I can see online demo. It's a template, but what I'm expecting an instance of it. Okay, come to site contents. So there is instance is created already, online demo. Open it. You can see the title is common, and my name we created, and my ID we created, and my address we created. And there is another view also which is created here. When you hit this one, see created ID, my address, my ID, my name, title. The same fashion we added inside our list definition. See in the next view, we can see in the my view I'm checking created by ID, my address, my ID, my name, title, and here also it is same. Okay, done. I want to create a new list, same kind of list using this template. So for that I'm going to add an app. I'm searching for online, spelling mistake, online. So now you can create my demo test as a new list. Click create. See my demo test. Same columns, same views. And also you want to create a new one. Go to add an app, and in the add an app again search for online demo. Here I'm searching online, search, click on it, enter a name, my test, click create. Okay, come down. Here my test is created, and this is also with the same columns and same views. So like this we can create a new list template and list instance using Visual Studio. And this is about creating a list definition. So in the interviews people will ask what is the difference between a list template and list definition. The list template, we can save our existing list as a template, and we can create a new list using that template. Even we can create 10 or 20 or unlimited list using that template. And coming to list definition act same as a list template, but which is developed using Visual Studio. Understood? Okay, fine. So when I deploy this solution, where this solution will go inside our SharePoint environment. Basically, this solution will go in your local file system, but where we can see if the end user will not work directly with the server, then how they can know this solution is deployed in your environment. So for that, I'm going to SharePoint Central Administration. In the Central Administration, there is a option called System Settings. Under System Settings, we have an option called Manage Form Solutions. Okay, it's still opening. Okay, it's open. Under Form Management, there is an option called Manage Form Solutions. So here you can see there is a SP list definition, SharePoint project one. There is lot of things, but which one we worked at development demo? I'm coming back here. There is a WSP called development demo, and which is deployed globally. Anyhow, what is the difference between deploying to global and deploying to a specific web application? We'll discuss in upcoming sessions. And here, this is the WSP which is deployed recently to our environment. see, which is deployed at 11 a.m. few minutes back, which is deployed to our environment. Actually, if you want to move this WSP to your production environment, how you can move? It's directly deployed from the Visual Studio, and here I have a direct option. When I right click on my solution, I can see deploy option. When I deploy this one, directly going to my environment, okay, that's fine. But you want to move this WSP into your another environment, how you can deploy that? That we'll discuss now. Okay, now when you right click on it, there is a publish option directly, or you have another option, open folder in file explorer. When I hit this one, I can see bin folder. Under bin folder, I can see debug, and here there is a WSP file, development demo.wsp. You can copy this one directly and you can paste it in your environment. And there, if you don't have a Visual Studio, basically in the production environment, no one keep the Visual Studio. So we need to deploy this one using PowerShell scripting. Anyhow, this PowerShell scripting will discuss in upcoming sessions. And coming back, if I don't know the path, how I can take this WSP, there is an option directly here. When you right click on it, and you can see publish option, and here publish to a file system, and this is the target location, but I don't like this target location. I am selecting my desktop, click select folder, click publish. Okay, now see the message, published succeeded. I'm going back to my desktop. I can see my WSP. See, demo list definition.wsp. Is it a correct one? No, I think this is the correct one, development demo, and this is the WSP which we deployed right now. Okay, see, the last modified at 11 a.m. but we published at 11:07 something, right? Because it's deployed, last deployed at 11 a.m. Fine, I'm creating a new folder here. So in the new folder, I'm dropping this one. I want to check, because I developed so much of thing, and when you go to your project explorer, okay, I'm going to Visual Studio. I'm opening this in a file explorer. I can see a lot of files here, but how this WSP will work when you move to production? You no need to move all this project. You just need to move only WSP file. So to know about this WSP, first what I'm doing is I'm changing this extension to cabinet. Click yes. Now right click on it and you can extract this one, extract here. Now you can see when you extract this one, and you have 1 2 3 different files, and there is a, sorry, 2 different files, and there is a folder. Now I'm going to this demo feature one. You can see online demo instance, and I'm going to online demo. I can see 2 files because this is a template. When I go to my template, inside my template I have element.xml and schema.xml. So that is this element.xml I'm opening, and the same code what we see inside Visual Studio, you can see this one here, same list template information. And when I go to my schema.xml, you can see the schema.xml what we discussed, like content types, fields and views, and finally we discussed about the forms, the final forms, 3 forms, this form, edit form, everything we discussed in the Visual Studio. And coming back to online demo instance, this having only element.xml that we discussed here as well, element.xml, this file. Okay, the same information we have here. I'm closing this one. I'm coming back to the future, and this is very important. And when I open the future.xml file will contain the future ID and the scope and where it is deploying to. And when you activate this feature, and what files need to be activated in the system, these 3 files. One is for list instance and another 2 for list template. I'm coming back to my folder, and there is another file called manifest. The manifest XML file will keep the solution ID and SharePoint product version. You are deploying into SharePoint 2013, so that's why you are deploying to 15.0, 15 high. And what this solution contains? This solution contains the feature.xml and the DLL file. Okay, and where this DLL is deploying to global assembly cache, which is nothing but GAC. Now this is about the WSP file. WSP file contains the manifest.xml and DLLs and feature.xml file and that related files. Now the feature.xml is this and the related files are these two. So this is about WSP. So you want to create the WSP, just right click on it and then click publish and select your location and save that and move that into your real-time environment and deploy that to your site. Okay, anyhow, how we can deploy that we'll discuss in upcoming sessions. So this is about WSP and this is about list definition and this is about a brief introduction about SharePoint development.